Today's topic comes from Math 8 Foundation's Order of Operations, where we are still working on the focus standard from Grade 8 Expressions and Equations on analyzing and solving linear equations and pairs of simultaneous linear equations. Our essential question for today is, how do we apply the order of operations to simplify expressions and equations? So please take a moment, pausing the video if you need to set up your header, including today's date, set up your question column and your note column, and resume the video when you're ready to begin. Today I've created a flowchart talking about order of operations, which you might recognize from these acronyms. At least this one seems to be the most popular. We call this Pemdas, or as I like to start to get 8th grade students thinking, to expand this, I call it GEMDAS. But this is rather the steps that we take to solve any kind of mathematical problem, to simplify it down. And so this is an acronym where each letter stands for the next step. Sometimes we remember this acronym by saying, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." And then for GEMDAS, I've changed it a little bit to say, "Go excuse my dear Aunt Sally." So when this is initially taught, students are taught that it's P parentheses comes first, but there are a lot of different ways to group part of a problem together, and that might be a fraction bar, that might be brackets. So it goes beyond just parentheses to anything that is grouping a smaller part of the problem together. We want to do that first. After taking care of any groups, we then look for exponents. Then we read the problem from left to right, looking for any multiplication and division. So this can actually swap. So as it says over here, we do the multiplication and division in order that they appear from left to right. Then lastly, the final operations we look for and work on are addition and subtraction. And just like multiplication and division, we do the addition and subtraction in the order that they appear in the problem as we read it from left to right. So a quick review here on order of operations, and I got 4 practice problems that I'd like us to try out. But first, pausing the video if you need to, please make sure that this is all complete in your notes before moving on. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so in our first problem, we have here 2 times the quantity 11 plus 2, subtract 7 squared. So, following our order of operations, we're looking for anything that is grouped. Parentheses, this is classic move here. Parentheses, grouping this 11 plus 2, so that tells us that is the first thing we need to do to start to simplify this problem. So if we combine 11 plus 2, we get 13, so we copy everything else down, and the problem now reads 2 times 13 minus 7 squared. So we've simplified this group down to one value. So the next step tells us to look for exponents. So right here I have 7 to the second power, or 7 squared, which tells us to multiply 7 by itself twice. And 7 times 7 is 49. So on our next line, we're going to simplify it down to say 2 times 13 minus 49. So I have a couple different problems here. I have 2 times 13. I also have 13 minus 49. Because multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction, we're going to do the 2 times 13 first, which gets us 26. So we have 26 minus 49. Since we're subtracting a larger number here, or adding a larger negative, then we're going to end up with a negative value. Our answer should be negative 23. Alright, so following that first example, please go ahead and take a look at problem number 2. We have 42 divided by 7 times 8 minus the quantity 3 plus 8. Take a few moments, pausing the video here, to go ahead and try and work through this problem, and then resume the video when you're ready to compare your work with mine. Let's take a look and see how you did. Looking through here, we see the parentheses grouping this 3 plus 8 together, so that would be where we'd want to start. And that is 11. So we copy everything else down. We have 42 divided by 7 times 8 minus 11. So we have a couple options here, 3 different operations. Multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction. We started the problem, we read it from left to right. Since division comes first, we're going to go ahead and take care of that. So 42 divided by 7 is 6. So that's simplified down here. So now our problem reads 6 times 8 minus 11. Still need to work through that multiplication and division, so we're going to do 6 times 8 is 48. 48 minus 11 is 37. So if you got 37, job well done. If not, take a minute, look back over your work, see where was it that you might have messed up, take a look at your chart, use that as you need to. Alright, so in this third problem here, we don't see any parentheses. At first glance, sometimes students tell me the only operation is subtraction. There's actually other things going on here too. The fact that we have a fraction bar with a numerator and a denominator tells us that we have a division problem going on. But this is an example of why I call it Pemdas. We don't see any parentheses here, but the fact that this negative 6 minus 10 is in the denominator together as a group, we have to assume that there are parentheses there or treat it as if there are. And so we have negative 6 minus 10. That is actually what we're going to do first. So that simplifies down to being 8 over negative 16. So we're getting closer to a simplified fraction, but this can be reduced. And with negative signs, we don't normally put it in the numerator or denominator. We actually put it outside and give it to everything. So we're looking for a number that can go into 8 and 16. The greatest common factor for that would be 8. 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 16 twice. This negative here makes the whole fraction negative. So this problem number 3 simplifies down to negative 1/2. Let's take a look at our fourth and final problem for this video lesson. Here we have what is referred to as nested parentheses. So we have a set of parentheses, but inside of that we have another set of parentheses. So we start with the innermost part of the parentheses. So that'd be 3 to the third power, or 3 cubed, plus 9, all of that times 3, and finally subtract 2. So we're going to deal with this inside part here first. Before I can add 9, I have to take care of exponents. So 3 to the third power means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So that first step is going to simplify down to be 27. And we add the rest of it, copy down the rest of the problem. Still trying to simplify this inner part of this parenthesis, so now we have 27 plus 9, which gives us 36. So now we can branch out to this full parentheses. We have 36 times 3 minus 2. Take care of this multiplication. We get 36 times 3 is going to be 108 minus 2. 106. So this was just meant to be a brief review of the order of operations. Please take a moment to make sure that your notes are complete, that you've included a section for the summary, and that you come to class ready to discuss and practice more problems like this.